What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubt. And I have my doubt that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. I am as sore, I think, as it gets. And and I am just exhausted. So bear with me. I'm going to kind of try to get through tonight as briefly as I can. The last 2 nights, I have just been hurting so bad. And this morning, I had was able to take some ibuprofen and feel better. And once I did that, I thought, well, I need to get all these batches of dumplings made up, and I wanted to try my hand at some hardtack, and so I made a bunch today. I stood at the table behind me for hours today doing that, and I'm feeling it now, especially considering that the ibuprofen wore off, and between not being able to sleep and just being in so much pain. So I'm going to try to make it brief. I'm shot out, though. I am shot out. I didn't even attempt to get the audio stuff squared away, to try to do a conference call. By the time I got done with all that, I was already whooped. So I will try for that tomorrow. I promise I'll try for that tomorrow. And we'll see if we can make it happen. So, yeah, I made a second video earlier regarding this big sheriff warning that's going on. And, boy, I'll tell you what, it just pisses people off when you won't play into their little need for fear. I don't know what the deal is with this sheriff. I have no idea. I don't care, to be honest. But when you've got one guy going around the country like he's on some book signing tour, talking about some big, huge security threat, the likes of which we've heard about for years, mind you, and I think there's like some time period or some date that he said that is, that something may happen. I'll bet you anything that date comes and goes and nothing. I've been doing this show for 10 years and I couldn't begin to tell you how many of these nonsense BS quote-unquote warnings that we've gotten. We have to be a little better than that. We got to try. Just because 20 prepper channels that pick up on it and run with it doesn't make it fact. The only thing that's a fact is some dudes, some sheriffs running around the country trying to drum up attention for some reason, and I don't know why. And to be real honest, I don't give a damn. It's not the first time. It just seems like this time is garnering a little bit more attention than normal. And then on top of that, we've got the federal government warning about some Russian threat. And if we're going to talk about nuclear threats, okay, let's go there and let's just tear this off like a Band-Aid. We've had space-based weapons for decades. Since the 80s that I am aware of, we've had space-based weapons. Both the United States and Russia, well, USSR at the time, put in place space-based weapons. Yes, we've got missiles up there. Had it since the 80s, along with the defunct laser system that never worked worth a damn. Had that up there too since the 80s. we have to be more discerning. We have to be better than this, because if we're not, we're going to fall for the same crap over and over and over. And as I've said it too many times, I'm tired of getting beaten with the same damn spot on the learning curve because of so many people that refuse to move forward. Because they, I guess, like it where they're at. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but damn, yo. Try to be a little bit smarter and smarter and smarter. But I don't think that's the point for a lot of folks. And I really do truly think that a lot of the folks that stick around here very long aren't those kind of people. Because I have a pretty good ability to piss them off and move them along. And I am good with that. I'm not going to be a bear independent. I'm not going to be a pinball preparedness. I am not going to be a prepper nurse one. I am not going to feed into what people hear or want to hear so I can get my numbers up. That's not what I started this channel for. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I know that I'm wired different, and I know that I'm a real big oddball. But I want the truth, and I've always wanted the truth, and I don't really care where the hell that truth falls. I just want it so I know what the hell I need to be doing. If I'm running around with my hair on fire, howdy Steve, if I'm running around with my hair on fire every 2 minutes because, oh, well, this person said that, and this person said that, am I really getting anything accomplished? The answer is no. All I'm doing is running in circles and filling time and not really truly getting anywhere. I don't get it. I don't. I really don't. Well, the first thing I've got before we get into this whole ordeal of the warning of the federal government and the impending news that I guess is starting to something to do with nuclear missiles, I guess is what's being said, what's being tossed around. I do have some other stuff that I want to go over. Well, thank you. Thank you, Friday. I don't know why, but my thingy isn't working. Hang on, let me try to get my thingy working. I mean, that thingy works fine, believe me, but that's not the thingy I'm referring to. Hang on. I have a dysfunctional thingy here. Hang on. A dysfunctional thingy. Should have probably had a dysfunctional thingy a long time ago. It would have saved me a lot of trouble. I know that. A lot of heartache. Alright, let me see if I can get my thingy fixed. Make sure it's chosen on the right one. Yes, sir, it is. Put in my little bitty thingy. No, not my little bitty thingy. I'm not talking about that thingy. I'm talking about the address. We'll get our thingies straight. Bear with me. Oh, hey, cool. Cool. And this is what Friday said. I wanted to get that up on the screen. And thank you, Friday. You are the last honest content creator on YouTube, bro. And we appreciate you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. I know that I rub a lot of people raw. I fully get that. I fully understand that. And it is what it is. I mean, I'm me. And I'm not going to come here and I'm not going to be some fake. Not in any way, shape, or form. I have always, my entire life, walked to the beat of my own drum. Always. And it's caused me a lot of problems throughout my entire life. But I've been this way my entire life, and I honestly, I wouldn't want to see what it's like to be any different. I really wouldn't. There was a reason that I always kind of walked to the beat of my own drum, and I was held back in the 5th grade. And the reasoning that the teacher had said, it wasn't my grades or anything like that. I did fine on that. The reason why my teacher said they wanted to hold me back is, number one, I was physically a small guy. Small kid. And I'm still a small guy. And I wasn't like the other kids. And they were concerned that the other kids were going to run all over me. And they thought it was some type of immaturity, not being as mature as the other kids. And actually, it was just the opposite. I was raised here. Small town. A lot of back talk going on here. And, you had kids that would try to, start trouble with other kids. And I didn't, and a lot of the stuff I wasn't into that other kids was into. They want to go out and play ball of some sort. I'm not into sports. Never been into sports, ever. They didn't do anything that really interested me. I actually, believe it or not, enjoyed learning. I actually enjoyed learning and being there to learn. Recess wasn't that exciting for me because I wasn't interested in what the other kids were doing. And it wasn't that it was a lack of maturity, and in fact, it was quite the opposite. I was more mature than them. I didn't understand why kids would want to sit there and throw rocks at other kids or make fun of other kids, or I didn't understand that. And to this day, I'm 51 years old and I don't understand why people want to throw rocks at each other, why people want to make fun of each other, why people want to... I don't get it. It makes no damn sense to me. And it followed me through high school. All of my friends, well, to be quite honest, most all of my friends in high school were alcoholics. And they may not have been necessarily right then, but most of them turned into alcoholics. And I never did really drink. I mean, once in a great while I drink, but very rare. Wasn't into that. Now, don't get me wrong, I was no goody two-shoes, not even close. I just wasn't into drinking. Why wasn't I into drinking? Because I read a book. And I'm not talking about the book. I'm not talking about the Bible. I'm talking about the school books, health books. I knew what alcohol did to the human brain. I knew how alcohol worked, and I knew that it works by actually poisoning you. It doesn't make a whole damn lot of sense to me to continue to poison my mind and my body. And when I was in high school, I really started looking at what we did. And in fact, in health class, I did a report that didn't make them very happy, and that was alcohol versus marijuana. And the conclusion of the report was that marijuana was a lot better for you than alcohol. And I'm not saying that, yeah, you got to have a crutch. What I'm saying is, if you're going to do one or the other, But people didn't understand that. Nobody cared. Why? Because everybody else is doing it. So, I was never one that had to be accepted. I was never one that had to please everybody. No, it wasn't me. And I'm still that way to this day. Still the same person. still walking to that same beat of that same old drum that apparently nobody else hears. Well, not nobody, but not very many. When I say nobody, you have to understand I'm speaking necessarily in my own sphere, my own area around here. I've met a lot of really incredible people online throughout my life. Here, it is. There's good people here, don't get me wrong. But there's a whole lot of trailer trash king and queen wannabes, I'll tell you that. And that's no knock at anybody living in a mobile home. To be quite honest, there's nobody really here in mobile homes. They're not allowed in city limits. So, I don't know. There might be one or two left or so in town, but not many. I know you can't put nope, not even nothing. If it's, I think you could probably put in a what do they call it? The modular homes or whatever, possibly. I don't even know for sure on that. They're pretty picky here, and you got to have so much land. I can't remember what it is, but you've got to have so much space, so much land in order to build a residence anyway, to put a residence. So a lot of real picky stuff. You could never do where we're at now. You could never do that now. And what I mean by that is there's one piece of property here with 3 houses on one piece of property. And I'm pretty sure this one piece of property is probably not, well, it's probably not big enough. If you only had this piece of property in town, I don't know that you could even put a house on it. I don't know. I don't know what size is their limit, but they're pretty picky here. Anyway, that's way left field. Before we get started with what I was going to talk about, the national security, oh my gosh, we're all going to die thing, I'm going to show you something else that was shared out by Ford Fisher, at least the beginning of 2 videos that were shared out by Ford Fisher. I believe the channel that the videos must have came from, police activity. It's in the bottom right. And let this be an example of why I would most definitely feel more secure calling the crackhead if I needed to call somebody than I would law enforcement. You know, if they want me to be nice, if they want me to say nicer things, maybe they need to pull the heads out of their asses. Maybe. Just a thought. But while you've got morons like this running around, yeah, no, I'll call the crackhead. I got much better chance of living by calling the crackhead. So anyway, you may have seen this, I don't know, but this is crazy. So let me explain to you what happened, because you're not even going to realize what happened other than, what the hell, man? So apparently, I don't know what the circumstances were as to why they arrested an individual, but they had an individual arrested. He is handcuffed, and he is in the back seat of the squad car. I'm assuming the back seat. Can't see, but I'm assuming he's in the back seat of the squad car. SUV, whatever. And as the officer walks by the car, an acorn from that tree that you see right there falls and hits the car. What you're going to see is Mr. Fife's reaction. I don't know his name, but Barney Fife would be a good one. And this dude only deserves to have 1 bullet. You're going to see what happens. The fear. And only having that split second to think when an acorn falls on your car. Shots fired! Now, real quick, we do have to show that. I mean, this dude could be an Olympic gymnast. okay, well, that's maybe a stretch, but what the hell is this? And I do actually even have to question this, because if that dude was actually trying to do what it is he was trying to do, he sucks at it. So let's watch that again, because this dude needs to go back to like kindergarten tumbling class or something, because it's sure in the hell not tactical what he's doing.
Just fired! Just fired!
Was he trying to do a cartwheel?
You know.
I think he said he was screaming shots fired. Let me turn that up a little bit and start it over, and I'll keep my mouth shut this time.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired! You know. I'm hit! What? I'm hit! In the car! I was shot through the car! Oh! I'm good. I feel weird, but I'm good.
He feels weird, but he's good.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm waiting for something.
I don't know.
So, let me explain. What I was playing let that play out for a little bit is because, first of all, he says, I feel weird, but I'm good, right? And then later on, a little bit later on, he says something to the fact that he thinks that his vest must have stopped it. He was never shot at. He was never shot at. And maybe you could hear in the background a very distraught lady. Now, I don't know if this lady's a sister, mother, girlfriend, wife. I have no idea. I have no idea who that is obviously distraught. But here they just fired round after round after round into the squad car. I mean, and of course this lady's upset, because I damn well guarantee that this lady knows that he wasn't armed when he went in that car, and I'm pretty damn sure she probably knows the type of person that he is, and I'm saying he. I'm pretty sure she probably knows that he is not the type of person that would have somehow he shot his car, Steve. That was his car. He asked what car that was his squad car that he was shooting like a maniac. His own car, where he had his suspect, and I'm assuming in the back seat, handcuffed. Right? So, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Well, that's what others were saying, is that it's an acorn, that he had heard an acorn. Now, I couldn't hear nothing. I didn't hear an acorn hit. I didn't hear nothing. All I saw was some freak throwing himself on the ground, screaming, "Stop fired! Stop fired!" and trying to do half cartwheel rolls. I don't know, because I've seen kindergartners do a better job than that. And I don't know. I can't even honestly explain it, because I didn't hear an acorn hit the roof of the car. And I'm not saying he didn't. Maybe I just couldn't. But to sit there and carry on about, no, he didn't. He didn't, Steve. Thank goodness. No, nobody got hurt, except for this cop's feelings. Nobody got hurt. So that is a whole nother that is a whole nother deal right there. That, it's crazy. So let's go to the other officer. There's another officer there. The female officer. Now, that's not the officer, obviously. I'm assuming that's the girlfriend or wife or what have you. I don't know what kind of paperwork she's signing. Have no idea what the situation is. I don't even have any idea. Well, yeah, and that's just it. If he could, how in the hell would he think it was a gunshot if we couldn't hear nothing? How could he think he heard a gunshot? I don't know. Something's just weird there. And again, his whole piss poor gymnastics move. Yeah, you know. But check this one out. This is the lady's body camera here.
Do you know your tag number off the top of your head? Okay, it's okay. What? Oh! Where? Right there? Jesse, are you okay? Get in the house! Get in the house! Jesse! Get back! Where is he?
So both officers, without having a clue of what they may be shooting at, nor does it look like they have any regard for anything that's beyond their shot. I mean, does it look to you like they're kind of trying to pay attention to what's beyond the shot to make sure that they don't hit innocent people? No. They both just open dump and dump magazines into the squad car to where the person's arrested is handcuffed, and I'm assuming in the back seat, because they don't put you in the front seat with the computer and the shotgun right there. That's common sense. But, man, I don't know. I don't know. But what I don't understand is, why do I get ridiculed? Because I got ridiculed again in that video. That video that I put up shortly before I went live, calling that sheriff out again. I'm some horrible guy for saying that the big bad blue line are fucked in the head. Yeah, they are fucked in the head. I can't help that. I didn't fuck them in the head. I had nothing to do with their fucking in the head. That's on them. But that is exactly why, yes, I'll call a crackhead before I'll call a cop. Got much better chance of living if I call the crackhead. This is ridiculous. And I know, I get it, that this isn't every cop. I get that. But how do you know what you're going to get when you pick up that phone? How do you know what you're going to get when they pull you over? You don't. And they use the same damn bullshit on everybody else. Well, how do we know when we're pulling somebody over? The blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, the same applies these days. Clearly. So I believe this officer, I believe the guy had resigned, if I'm not mistaken. I watched Tim Pool's video on this. That's how I know about this. I don't think he was charged with anything, no. So, I don't think so. I don't want to play the whole thing because I don't want to get in trouble. I'll play a little bit more of the chick, though.
Where is he?
In the car.
43, give me traffic. Shots fired. I got a deputy down. Off of McLaren, we're off of McLaren, shots fired, I got a deputy down. Jesse, how are you? Jesse, how are you? Okay. I need EMS. I need EMS on standby. Suspect is going to be in the vehicle. No! Where are you hit? Where are you hit? No! Get back! No! Get back!
Anybody to do anything, please! No!
I might have hit my vest.
Okay,
No!
okay.
No!
Get back! Get back! I'm not...
That was when he made some comment about he might have been hit in his vest then. There's no excuse for this. The training is so piss poor. Her partner, let's take the cop side of it for a second. Her partner could have been bleeding out. And all she's doing is hiding behind this Jeep. I don't know about you, but if I was law enforcement or military or something like that, and that was my partner, that was my fellow brother or sister there that might be bleeding out, I think I'm going to take that chance of running that gap between vehicles so I can get over there and apply first aid if need be to save my brother or sister's life. It blows my mind because there's no brains at all here. Because let's say that he somehow got into that squad car with a gun that they didn't find. Let's go there. Let's say that he had it hidden in his hidden luggage compartment up his butt. Whatever. So let's say he had a firearm. Just to make that damned argument. And his hands are cuffed behind his back. How good a aim can you aim a gun with your hands handcuffed behind your back? So making that, 20, maybe 30-foot run there to that other vehicle, I think you're going to probably be able to, and oh my God, you can't think that. No, I can think damn well that quickly. And anybody that can't think that quickly probably shouldn't be doing that job. Neither should anybody that can't even tumble, can't even differentiate between, and I'm just going to say, an acorn hitting the car and a firearm going off. Maybe they're in the wrong job. Hell, I don't know. I don't even think he could successfully be a janitor if he gets spooked by acorns hitting cars. I don't think he could be a kindergarten teacher. I have no idea, Steve. I have no idea. I can, give me 1 second, brother. And I will get you the link. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. There you go, Steve. That's where I nabbed those videos from. There is, if you scroll down, you'll see the first one there, then you'll see the second one, which are both Twitter videos. And then if you scroll just a little bit further, Ford had actually posted a YouTube video. And let me double check. I think that YouTube video might actually be the same name that's, hang on.
Car back. I've been asking one.
Yeah, that there is, here, let me just give you this link, brother. This is the police activity page that I'm assuming Ford Fisher got it from. So, yeah, I don't know. Here it says, Okaloosa County, Florida, November 12th, 2023. Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office deputies had responded to McLaren Circle around 8:42 a.m. in reference to an initial call of a vehicle driving around honking its horn and disrupting the peace since 3 a.m. Ooh, you gotta watch out for them honkies, right? A second call for service came in from a woman stating her initial call of a vehicle driving around honking its horn stating her boyfriend, 22-year-old Marquis Jackson, had committed grand theft auto, a felony offense, and had been calling and texting her threats. The victim provided text messages she said had been taken from inside her vehicle. Showing what appeared to be a firearm suppressor pointing at the dash of the victim's vehicle. Jackson showed up at the scene at 9:09 a.m. and was detained, searched, handcuffed, and placed in the rear of Deputy Jesse Hernandez's patrol vehicle while the investigation continued. And the victim completed the affidavit for the stolen vehicle. That would have been what she was signing papers for. The victim told deputies Jackson had a silencer and she was not sure where it was, and they had more than one weapon. As Deputy Hernandez was returning with a victim's rights form for the caller, other deputies found the victim's vehicle at 1656 Hunt Club Street. Deputy Hernandez was approaching the passenger side rear door of his patrol car to do a secondary search of Jackson when he heard a pop sound which he perceived to be a gunshot and believed he had been hit. He began yelling shots fired multiple times, falling to the ground and rolling. He fired into the patrol car. After witnessing Deputy Hernandez's response and reaction, the Sergeant Beth Roberts responded with gunshots toward the car as well in response to the perceived threat. Jackson escaped injury and no weapon was located. Deputy Hernandez had been with the OCSO since January 2022. Sergeant Roberts has been with the OCSO since May 2008. Both were current on resistance training and firearms qualifications. Deputy Hernandez resigned on December 4, 2023 during the investigation, but was ultimately found to have violated policy. No kidding. The deputies were cleared of any criminal wrongdoing. Jackson wasn't injured and no weapon was located, the OCSO said. After investigation, the sound was determined to have been made by an acorn hitting the roof of the car. So that's where Tim would have gotten that from. So, yeah. I mean, insanity. Insanity. Oh, but he was red. There was a picture of a gun with a silencer in it. Yeah? Well, I'm pretty sure that you're going to notice a dude carrying around a gun with a suppressor on it. I'm pretty sure. Huh. Oh, hey, Steve, I got an investigation report for you, brother. There you go. I know you like this stuff and things. There you go. That's just ridiculous. Oh, wait. Let me give you a... Oh, well, that is the smaller link. Okay, never mind. It's just crazy, man. Crazy, 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 crazy. Oh, I didn't even have that up in the same thing. Sorry about that. I should have brought it over on this window, and I didn't. So anyway, I'll get off that high horse. Hell, we're already 9:15. It just pisses me off. It really does. No regard for innocent life. None. Now, I'm not even talking about the cat that was, handcuffed in the backseat of the squad car. I'm talking about anybody that lived in any of those homes on the other side of where they were just wildly firing. Anyway, a U.S. security threat revelations prompt panic. And I'm not going to go into it. I guess they're now talking that it could be something to do with nuclear weapons, but I don't know if anybody's really actually saying this or if it's just kind of being tossed around in the media as far as being nuclear weapons. I don't know. What I do know is they're doing everything they can to secure funding for Ukraine and Israel and Taiwan. And so they're going to have to... I don't know why they need to worry about Israel and Ukraine and Taiwan. Why don't they just send those cops over there? Shit, they'll kill everybody. They won't have to worry about anything. I mean, problem solved. And then I see something like this, and it makes me think, yeah. Now, if you want to talk about a weapon of mass destruction, it would be a vaccine that cures cancer. Seriously. Yeah, if you would... I mean, that would be the number one reason to nuke Putin if he unveiled a vaccine that would cure cancer. Think about it. Think about it. You think the oil wars are bad? Oh, hell no. Wait until you get involved in the cancer cure wars. They'll nuke people for that. I don't know. I haven't even read that. I'm going to read it with you. Russian medical scientists are working on vaccines against cancer and a new generation of medication, President Vladimir Putin said on Wednesday. Speaking about the state of Russian medical science at the Future Technologies Forum in Moscow, Putin pointed out that enormous strides have been made in early detection and treatment of cancer, leading to higher survival rates. I will also add that we have come close to creating so-called oncovaccines, vaccines against cancer, and immunomodulatory drugs, wow, I'm impressing myself, of a new generation. And I hope that soon they will be effectively used as methods of individual therapy, he said. According to the president, more than half of all cancer cases in Russia are detected in the early stages where the prognosis is the most favorable. He also pledged to continue funding medical research and development at the necessary levels. While we're figuring out how to make deadlier bioweapons, they're curing cancer. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, I didn't see. I guess you found that quote somewhere, huh? Crazy, crazy. It says Putin described the medical advancements he was shown at the forum as some kind of science fiction. Even just a little while ago, we could only read about such things in the works of fantasy fiction, but today all of this is becoming reality. All these areas are now just gaining momentum and are expected to produce a real revolution in medicine in the near future, he said. One of the inventions is a special chip that can restore a person's sight if implanted into the brain. I've been talking about that for quite a while. The technology is currently undergoing clinical trials. Advances in the field of medicine, prevention, and treatment are valuable in and of themselves, but they require the participation of other fields of industry to be fully utilized by the Russian society, Putin said. Therefore, Moscow views these key areas of industry as projects of national importance and is looking to build the entire industrial process from the foundations and applications to production and training of highly qualified workers as an integrated chain. So that's what Russia's working on. And what are we working on? Stuffing as many illegal immigrants into the country as possible. Sending as much money as we can to Ukraine and Israel and Taiwan. But as far as helping the American people, oh hell, they can't be bothered with that. No. In fact, you American people that built this country, you should live on the streets so we can put some illegal immigrants in your home. Oh, by the way, you need to go to work. so you can pay the taxes so that they've got food and power and everything else in your home. Because you don't want to be a slumlord, do you? I mean, this is... What? There is no answer to this other than removing them. And they're not going to be removed by a vote. It don't matter who the hell gets in office at the election either. Doesn't matter one bit. It's ridiculous what's going on in this nation. It truly is. Tucker did a video earlier, or he released a video earlier, where he was showing, and I can't remember the name of the train station, but he was at a subway station in Russia. And it was absolutely gorgeous. I mean, gorgeous. The place was clean. It looked nice. And apparently, Stalin, I guess, was the leader over there when this place was built. Not that he was trying to prop up Stalin or anything like that, but he was just showing the contrast. Behind that, I forgot how many year old, 70, I think he said maybe 70-year-old subway. And it's gorgeous in there. And not just clean, but it was a very pretty place. And the people were just, everybody looked calm, and it looked like it was nice. Oh, I have no idea. That would have been in that report as well, I'm sure. I mean, it's crazy though. Have a sip of coffee, and I'm going to kind of whip through these because I am tired. I didn't expect to spend that much time on that incident, but damn. Oops. I don't know why that backed out. Israel launches a series of airstrikes on Lebanon, and without going all into it, the concern is it's going to be very highly escalated from there, because Lebanon said that they wasn't going to put up with it. If I recall, and it wasn't that long ago that they said they weren't going to put up with it. Yeah, well, I agree. More people don't know what's going on. Absolutely. I think if people did en masse know what was going on, there would be a stop put to it. But unfortunately, we live in a country to where everything is politicized. And if you give this information to the left to disseminate, nobody's going to listen to them, because it doesn't matter what situation it is. It doesn't even matter if it's a story that's in the officer's favor. The left is going to try to twist it in some way, no matter what. And then if you take it to the red team, the right, well, we don't know what we're talking about. We obviously got something wrong. Or, let's look at every other little bit of the entire situation to try and make an excuse as to why 2 cops lost their shit over a falling acorn and had no regard for life or safety of innocence. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. That's why I hate politics so bad, and that's why I hate political parties so bad. It literally, I'm waiting every day to see them start feeding plants Gatorade, because I'm convinced it's right around the corner. There's another deal with bird droppings. Israel caught faking Gaza aid. Says here, Israel admitted on Tuesday to using stock footage of a Moldovan refugee camp in a video it posted on X, touting its claims that it had provided tens of thousands of tons of humanitarian aid to Gaza during the war. The country's official X account deleted the video that included the offending photo, which it insisted had been used for illustrative purposes only, and promised to ensure transparency in subsequent visuals. BBC reporter Cheyenne Sardazida, I can't say that one, exposed the fraudulent clip on Monday, posting side-by-side screenshots of Israel's video, which claimed West Jerusalem had sent 23,000 tons of tents and shelter equipment to Gaza, and the original image on the stock photo. The photo's description clearly reads, "Land arranged on the territory of Moldova with tents near the border of Ukraine for refugees coming from the war in Ukraine." Israel claimed in the video that it had sent 11,000 aid trucks into Gaza since declaring war on Hamas in October, including 140,000 tons of food, 1,000 water trucks, and 17,000 tons of medical supplies, in addition to the shelter equipment supposedly sent. While the UN estimates 2 million Palestinians in Gaza, nearly all of the territory's 2.1 million residents are currently dependent upon such humanitarian aid. The Palestinian Red Crescent Society last month highlighted a steep decline in aid delivery since the war began. Oh, you're welcome, Steve. You're welcome. This is another thing, just like we were just talking about with the law enforcement. You've got one side of the political aisle that is lying in one direction, and then you've got the other side lying in another direction. Neither one of them are talking about what's really going on. And it was made very clear that what kicked all of this off anyway on October 7, that a majority of the people that fell, the Israelis that fell at the hands of their own government, fell at the hands of the IDF. And there is quite a bit of evidence of that, video and everything else. And I'm not picking a side. That's just it. I'm not picking a side. I'm looking at what happened and saying, whoa, wait a minute here. Now we're over 20,000 dead? What Israel is doing is literally wiping out the Palestinians, completely wiping them off of that land so that they can completely take over, while running around warning everybody about a song that the Palestinians sing. And J6 that's another example, Steve. J6 is just another example. And, you've got people on both sides of these situations running around acting like they're on the high road. It's crazy. Here, EU leaders urge Brussels to reconsider Israel policy. Says European Commission must urgently reconsider whether Israel is complying with its human rights obligations in Gaza under the EU-Israel Association Agreement, an economic pact that forms the basis of relations between Brussels and West Jerusalem. The leaders of Ireland and Spain told EC President Ursula von der Leyen and EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell in a letter on Wednesday. We are deeply concerned that the deteriorating situation in Israel and in Gaza, especially the impact the ongoing conflict is having on innocent Palestinians, especially children and women, Irish Taoiseach Leo Varadkar and Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez wrote. The prime ministers pointed out that while it is at heart a free trade agreement, the EU-Israel Association Agreement also makes respect for human rights and democratic principles an essential element of the relationship. If Brussels finds those principles have been violated, it should propose appropriate measures to the Council to consider, or for the Council, no, to the Council to consider, the letter stated. Like I've been saying lately, the support, especially the blind support for Israel, is waning. It is really waning. Okay. Two more articles here, then we'll read some headlines. Mass shooting rocks Super Bowl parade. I don't know if this is going to have the latest numbers or not. Two armed men were arrested after allegedly opening fire at Kansas City Union Station following the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl victory parade on Wednesday, police told reporters. One person was killed and as many as 15 injured in the melee. 3 of the victims were in critical condition and 5 were in serious condition, while 1 had mild injuries, according to officials. Footage from outside the station showed bystanders taking cover while dozens of police officers and apparently the FBI, according to one loud onlooker, swarmed the entrance. The shooting took place in a parking garage near the station while parade goers were leaving, local media reported. So, crazy. I know that there was a shooting at a high school, I believe, and I can't remember where that was. Maybe Atlanta? I saw headlines coming in for that as well. And then lastly, we have this article, which I thought was, in a sense, kind of humorous, but, you got to follow it closely because they're not saying that he's dangerous he's not necessarily saying that they're dangerous to Russia, but that Tucker's kind of more dangerous to the United States. Well, Tucker's more dangerous to those that are being dishonest. I'll put it that way. This here says Russian President Vladimir Putin admitted on Wednesday that ex-host Tucker Carlson caught him by surprise during their interview last week. The final interview was 2 hours long and has been seen by hundreds of millions of people. Before it, Carlson was criticized for speaking to Putin at all, and afterwards for not asking the Russian president certain things. I think your Carlson, I say yours since he's a member of your profession, is a dangerous man, Putin told journalist Pavel Zarubin on the sidelines of the Future Technologies Forum in Moscow. I thought he would be aggressive, ask me sharp questions. I was just not ready for that. I wanted that so I could give equally sharp answers, Putin explained, but he chose a different tactic. Carlson ended up patiently sitting through Putin's lengthy digression into history and did not give me an occasion to do something I had prepared for, Putin said. Frankly speaking, I did not get the full satisfaction from this interview. Commenting on reactions to the interview from the West, Putin said it was a good thing that the leaders there watched and listened to what he had to say, but bad that they felt the need to twist his words. Asked if Carlson could face reprisals in the West, the Russian president pointed out that WikiLeaks publisher Julian Assange still sits in a British prison. While the U.S. had tried to accuse Assange of revealing state secrets, which is more difficult to pin on Carlson, anything is possible in today's U.S., Putin said. While this kind of persecution would certainly be a bad thing for Carlson himself, it would be good for the world because it would reveal the true face of the liberal democratic dictatorship embodied by the ruling class in the U.S., the president concluded. So, again, he wasn't saying that he was dangerous for Russia or even really that he was a dangerous man beyond the fact of being dangerous to the West narrative. So, that's actually, in my opinion, one hell of a compliment. Coffee. Oh, man. Oops. At least the ibuprofen seems to be help. I took ibuprofen, whatever, like right before the show. Right before the show. Ow. And it's helping. Holy cow. I felt like death warmed over, I'm telling you. I'm binging and bonging. I don't know what's up. Oh, wow. Let me see what the heck this is. Blue Rock Media? We are an in-the-car, tablet-based digital media... What? Just making sure this is all good. Okay. Sorry, I was checking. We got that local group, and I was just trying to see what the hell was being posted over there. It took me a moment to make sense of it. Okay. Let's read some headlines, go running out the door screaming. Hey, it's what everybody else does. Top European bankers have secret clubs, says Financial Times. Metal thieves bring Germany's high-speed rail to a halt. Old sick men control U.S. nuclear chain of command, says Moscow. I can't argue that. Biden urges U.S. House to pass bill with $60 billion for Ukraine. How about you just pass a bill, give me $1 billion, and I'll shut the hell up and disappear? Beijing reacts to claim EU will target Chinese firms with Russia sanctions. BRICS will overtake G7 in economic might by 2028, says Dilma Rousseff. Kremlin responds to report Putin offered to freeze Ukraine conflict. Putin willed $2 billion worth of art, says media. German foreign minister admits economy is unfit. No chance for negotiated peace with Ukraine, says Lavrov. Russian AI passes medical exam. Keep that doctor away from me. Putin approves asset confiscation for spreading falsehoods about the army. Sanctioning Chinese companies cooperating with Russia would be illegal, says Beijing. Hunter Biden phone contained images of illicit drugs, says Department of Justice. Kiev's new top general explains frontline hardships. Number of Western firms that left Russia revealed. Biden must be removed, says State Attorney General. Russia goes to EU court over Crimean treasure transfer. U.S. spies were behind Russiagate plot, says report. I thought we knew that, like years ago. U.S. spending $7 million a year on seized Russian yacht. See, they give it to me, they wouldn't have to spend another dime on it. EU states PM pushes law to destroy Soviet World War II monuments. Ukraine gets NATO retaliatory I'll try that again. Ukraine gets NATO reality check from the U.S. Ukraine's exiled opposition leader explains support for Russia. Jailed former leader's party excluded from coalition government despite win. Let's see. Putin makes a choice between Trump and Biden. See, even Putin's voting in our elections. EU leaders urge Brussels to reconsider Israel policy. Oh, I read that one. Ukrainian drone hits Russian oil depot. And lastly, Russia should have began Ukraine operation earlier, says Putin. Fun, fun, fun. Not really. Anyway, I'm going to get the heck out of here so I can go to bed because I'm sore, I'm tired, I'm bitchy. Wah! Man, I hope I rest all night tonight. I need it. Anyway, I'm getting off here. God willing, I'll be back tomorrow. God not willing, who knows where I'll be. But I'm going to try to get the audio squared away. I can't promise I will, but I've got a few ideas that I'm going to try. It's a really tricky thing to do. It made it a little bit easier when I used the Meta Workrooms thing because I actually had another device that I was connecting with. And in this case, I'm not. It's all the same device. And so I got to make sure I'm not in a situation that A, that I'm going to get a bunch of feedback, which is not easy to do, and B, that I'm actually going to be able to make all of the connections because when it comes to the control side of things, I can't do like I was doing with Horizon Workrooms. With Workrooms, I was able to open a second browser tab or a second browser window in incognito. And while I could absolutely do that, the problem lies that if I do that, every single time that I bring up the show, I'd have to completely go back through all of the settings and everything else. So, I can't even guarantee that all that would work after I went through all that. And again, every single night I'd have to go back through all that. So, let me work with it tomorrow and I'll see what I can come up with. So, anyway, I am out of here. I got to get some rest. I will hopefully see all of you tomorrow. Thank you for coming. And as always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.